I need to cut in with some breaking news. Breaking news.
Oh,
Breaking news.
and I
Um,
slip in.
Adam Schefter is reporting Bill Belichick is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I saw that
There were
earlier.
more than 10 people who apparently voted to exclude him from the Hall of Fame, and the football world is going ape shit. Oh
That's
my!
very MLB.
That
Yes,
is. That's exactly what I thought. That is such a baseball
expose
So
thing to do.
such a baseball
expose
thing.
these fucking people. That is criminal. That
No, because here's how
Bill
they can hide behind it. The
Belichick is
same way that
not in
they
the Hall of
refuse
Fame.
to vote in some of these guys in the baseball Hall of Fame that aren't, right? Like a Kurt Schilling. They'll say,
Pete Rose.
Scandal.
Yeah.
oh, well,
Scandal.
he cheated, these things. I mean, the same reason Carlos Beltran had to wait as long as he, I mean, he only waited 4 years, but he should have been a second year guy, if not first year, based off of Beltran's everything he had. It's that right there. There's some scandal attached to him, but the thing is, in football, the reason one of the reasons you see the uproars, he's the best NFL head coach ever, right?
This should be
But
like
the
Martin
second,
Rivera, 100% unanimous.
the second reason though that this is such an uproar is that baseball has that character clause that they hide behind. That's what they all hid behind. Why they won't vote for a steroid user or for Kurt Schilling and say, well,
Yes.
his character after he played was this, so we don't want him representing our sport. And that's in there, and you can interpret how you want, but that's how they chose to interpret it. Football has no such thing, which is why OJ Simpson's all over everything there and has no threat that they would take anything down or say anything.
But it's also
right?
the reason why
And they've made a point to say that we don't have that. That it is all based off of what you do on the field.
It took T.O. forever to get in, and it was like, that's bullshit. Like, he should have been a first ballot.
Yes.
And then to have Belichick not be a first ballot is just so criminal.
That's
and I think Bill Polian was one of the ones that spearheaded it. And if you don't remember Bill Polian, he was the Colts
GM.
GM or owner, whatever.
During Deflategate?
GM.
During all of that, where
Who
Belichick was kicking his ass.
Yes.
Belichick, that to me, that's such a personal vendetta against him that, I mean, the fact that he convinced, I guess, 11 people or 10 other people to not vote for him
disgusting.
is ridiculous. How
Absolutely
you don't get
disgusting.
at least 80%.
Wait, Bill Polian spearheaded
the
to
campaign.
not vote for Belichick, or was campaigning for Belichick?
Campaigning against Belichick.
Against Belichick. Bill Polian was like the biggest one to be
Get
against.
What was his reasoning?
Loser.
His reason was Spygate and Deflategate, and he said he needs to wait a year for his penance. As his penance. That's literally because he kicked your ass up and down the
you.
But that idea too of he has to wait a year. That's the most idiotic.
The penance was a fine and a 4-game suspension for the greatest quarterback the league has ever seen. Fuck all the way off.
But that whole idea, like, I don't even care about saying the penance was those things. The idea, yes, it's so baseball. Like they just did to Carlos Beltran, right? And it's it's all about other things too, because it's like, well, David Ortiz cheated, and he was first ballot, and he should have been a borderline first ballot even with not cheating, but you didn't do it. But you know what? The media liked him, you liked him, and you had a good relationship with him. So you'll vote for him to go in, but you won't vote for Gary Sheffield because you thought Gary Sheffield was a dick. And Gary Sheffield said one time that he used some cream while lifting weights with Barry Bonds, and he found out afterwards that it was a steroid cream. And that's why you'll say, we won't vote for Gary Sheffield. But yet, Big Papi failed a drug test, was in the Mitchell report, and it's known that he cheated and got caught. And you say, oh, but we won't look at the Mitchell report with that, but yet we won't vote for Clemens and Bonds, and who didn't fail a drug test. The same, their only thing was they were mentioned in the report, right? And they had all these scandals. So it's this hypocrisy. Thy name is you. It's the hiding behind the screen. It's the hiding behind the anonymity. It's the like I said, personal vendetta. It's the human element, and that's what that's what makes it great. Is that it's the human element, but it's also like no. We put such a premium on the legacy and history of these sports, right? And we talk about so much, and we talk about the statistics and all of these things. And you're going to exclude from your halls of fame people who set standards and were untouched just because you didn't like them. And part of the reason you didn't like them, aside from maybe some personal, characteristics, was also that they were better than everyone else.
Kick the shit out of
Yes.
everyone they came
Right.
across.
And so for Belichick, for them to say, well, he needs to serve a penance.
Who are you to decide?
Well, no. My thing is, well, that you can't have one or the other. You can't say he's going to serve a penance and then so he gets in year 2 and that's him suffering. No, he's still in the Hall of Fame then, though. So why not vote for him the first time?
Mhm.
Right? Real penance would be that we are keeping him out of the Hall of Fame forever, like Pete Rose
Yes.
was, right? But yeah, that's just a very punitive. Just it's small is what it is. It's a small person argument.
Petty and small. It's disgusting, and it genuinely makes me my heart breaks for Bill because he deserves it.
But he's gonna get in though. I don't feel bad for him because
I feel bad for him.
It's like how all these other great baseball players did. Like you said, Mo Rivera is the only unanimous one. Like my heart doesn't break because Ichiro and Griffey and Jeter and
they should have been.
Mays and Aaron. Yes, they all should have been unanimous Hall of Famers and Ripken, but they weren't. But they still got in, right? So at the end of the day, again, my heart doesn't break for Carlos Beltran.
The thing is
it's just stupid.
You should have the NFL world reacts and agrees that Bill Belichick should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, and in our minds, he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer, but I don't know this because there's no guarantee that he gets in. Obviously, because who's to say these same people aren't just riding the high of being behind the keyboard and being looking at their friends. Yeah, you know who voted no for him? Fucking this guy.
Or that they won't say, oh, we'll do this till he dies, and then after he dies,
exactly.
We'll elect him so he doesn't get the satisfaction.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yes, and that's where it takes integrity out of it.
Absolutely.
Because that's the worst part is they'll hide behind, well, he's the one that lacks integrity because he had this, and this.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're the one who lacks integrity because you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so punitive. It is so just small. You're a small person to do that because your reasoning to justify it is only in your brain. And you just wanted to have a couple other people with you, and you think that because, these other people I know say it, then it has to be true, and that I'm right in my reasoning. And I get that, the idea of wanting to be, have your own mind and thought, but it's also, voting for these things is a privilege, right? It's not like any of us schmucks have it. You have to earn it through years of integrity, of covering and being part of the sport. And you throw your integrity out of the window by making decisions like this and then hiding behind that same lack of integrity that you are imposing on someone else.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate the Patriots.
But
I hate Tom and I hate the Belichick.
You're also able to be objective.
No, because the Hall of Fame is supposed to tell the story and the history of the sport. And it's supposed to highlight the greatest of the greats that have ever participated in your sport. That's the whole reason behind it, right? It's a museum. And Belichick is already all over that museum, right?
Yeah.
He has to be. And to sit there and say, oh, we're going to make him serve a penance is just idiotic.
Asinine.
So you're going to diminish your museum, like you said, over a personal vendetta or something, that he rubbed you the wrong way. You're not being a servant of the game. You're not being a custodian of the sport. You're not taking your job seriously because at that point you're making a selfish decision to get some personal gratification as opposed to looking at what your job is supposed to be as a voter, which
of your own massive egos.
What your job as a voter is supposed to be looking at the merits of all of these candidates and say, who belongs in our museum for eternity? Who deserves to be immortalized based off their contributions to our sport? And when you hide behind those things, you lose merit. You lose merit in your voting, right? Like you said, expose these people, but they won't. They'll never come out with it. The same reason they'll never release who didn't vote for Ichiro and who didn't vote for Griffey and who didn't vote for Willie Mays, who didn't vote for Hank Aaron. the same way they'll never release it. It
No.
don't it, you it's it's where, and like I said, boy brought up too. It's where baseball has had issues forever. Is like this shrouded mystery of how this gets done, and that almost just a complete lack of transparency, a complete lack of thought process. Like there have been times that there are baseball voters who won't vote for a single person on the ballot. That's happened before. Or they just don't even fill out the ballot. And it's like, what? You can't tell me that there's not a single person here. Exactly. You can't tell me that Carlos Beltran is not worth voting for.
By the way, Andrew Jones made it now, right?
Yes.
Finally,
Yeah.
thankfully. But that you end up pushing these guys so far like down the line. Andrew Jones should have been in 3-4 years ago.
People forget.
Oh, and then
Sheffield should be in. There's no reason why you sit there and punch it. Kurt Schilling should be in. It's just the dumbest thing.
But then you have guys who get elected by these veterans committees essentially because we're friends with the former players on the committee, like former Orioles great Harold Baines. You look at his numbers, and yes, he has some cumulative stats, but for a full-time DH, the numbers he had, and when you look how long he played, like if you're going to put him in, that's like putting Jamie Moyer in,
Right.
But yet this committee voted him, and we talked about him earlier, the Cobra, right? Dave Parker, right?
Mm-hmm.
A fan favorite, people loved him, right? Great player, but there was a reason that he didn't get voted in before. He got voted in by a veterans committee, and I hate speaking ill of the dead because he passed away last year. But I mean, 40 career WAR from a right fielder, less than 400 home runs, yet 290 average, 2,700 hits is impressive. But you know who else almost has that is Johnny Damon. I think Johnny Damon might have more hits, and Johnny Damon has rings. Well, does Dave Parker have rings? He played on the A's, Pirates, Reds. He might have a ring or two. Was he on the Blue? No, the Blue Jays didn't win when he was on them. But thank you. But the point is that it's the whole process for now. The whole process for baseball, and baseball fans know it, and baseball people know it, has become so convoluted and just almost arbitrary. Mm-hmm. And that was something that the other sports still had, was their integrity. Like they didn't have those issues, right?
It's capricious and arbitrary.
And your fly is open. But now with this, whatever news you wanted to break here, that brings it into question. Mm-hmm. That you've now gone the baseball route, football. You have now introduced this, gray area that all these voters get to live in and make just righteous, random, off the wall, like you said, capricious and arbitrary justifications for their votes. Whereas before you didn't have that. And now you've got it, and you give an inch, you take a mile.